Wilson looking to drive, blows by his man. Right hand layup, good.
Ahead to Adams.
Here's a lob. There's the slam. Brady Dick on the throwdown.
Well, welcome in to another edition of the Jayhawker Podcast. We are on location at the Hilton President Hotel in downtown Kansas City. We are joined by Jalen Wilson, newly coined and anointed Big XII Player of the Year. Obviously, another star, retired Jersey, Wayne Simeon. We're going to have a lot of fun today leading up to the Big 12 tournament. This is the Jayhawker Podcast, brought to you by the University of Kansas Health System. Let's get right into it. We got the man, the myth, the legend, national champion, All American. What else should we call you? Let's first dive into this year. And we'll get to the national championship and everything else. But this year, you just won the Big 12 regular season title. Yeah. Toughest league in the country, unanimously across the country. Everybody agrees. Yeah. I don't think there's anybody that said, well, maybe it's the ACC or the – no. There's no question. And you won it outright. Yeah. How does that make you feel? How much different is that than winning the national title?
I think it feels great. Understanding how hard it is. One, you know, I've been in this conference for 4 years, and, like, I've never seen the competition. Usually there's some games that are not just easy wins, like, oh, I win by 20, but, like, you know you'll get the win no matter if you're on the road or not. But, like, this year it's like you literally don't even know. I usually know we're safe in the field house, but now it's like dudes are making it close. Like, usually you win every game in the field house with ease. But, you know, this year you had to be dialed in every single game, and that was the biggest difference. And I think at one point we had like 16s in the top 15. Like, it's been everywhere. And, you know, got guys like Baylor just lost on their senior night to Iowa State. Like, teams like that, I think, you know, speak for itself on how hard it is. And to win the game or to win the league outright, to win it by a game ahead is great. You know, it shows, you know, our toughness throughout the entire year. And, you know, I even talked to Dick Vitale, and he was like, this may be one of the best Big 12s I've ever seen, like, conference-wise. So, you know, it's a great honor to be able to have that title.
Yeah, you mentioned winning the conference by one game. Obviously, we didn't cruise through the entire league. We hit a tough stretch there in January where a lot of people thought that it was out of reach and that there was going to be a new champion crowned. What were some things that you did personally and then even that you had to help the team through to lock in mentally to make that run back to the top of the league, but then also to finish it with those two games we had to get at home against West Virginia Tech?
I'd say the first thing was getting the team together. We had a team meeting right after the Iowa State loss, and, you know, we had to create an identity. That was something that we hadn't had all year, especially, you know, for the goals that we had set. You know, I know we had lost 3 in a row, but I knew in the back of my mind it wasn't over. Everyone else is going to lose games as well. And we kind of just went through a tough, just 3-game stretch of good teams on the road, and stuff happens. But like I said, it's such a long year. And after we kind of created our identity of wanting to play harder than the other team, making them play bad, and stay on the defensive end and think about that more than offense, I think we won like 7 straight, if I'm not mistaken, after this last Texas loss. And just making sure everybody's playing for each other, understanding that, you know, I just told everybody we're never going to have the same team again after this year. So why not, you know, go for what we can go for?
Right.
If teams and people think we can win it all, then why not do everything we can to do it? And we just came together and kind of just refocused.
I want to stay on tough times. I'm going to go back a couple years. You and I were just talking about it before we turned the camera on. The USC game in Indianapolis, that was a tough year all around. Yeah. COVID, we're all relegated to our rooms, can't do anything. We go to Indianapolis, it's limited capacity. We weren't playing well. We got blown out by USC. Bill Self in his press conference basically said, I need to rethink how I do everything. I need to re-recruit athletes, size, athleticism, everything. You heard that. Couldn't have sat well. No. Sucks. Got beat by 30-plus. And then I'm a big believer in nothing is ever accomplished in a great way at a championship level without adversity.
Yeah.
That was adversity. You had adversity last year it was self-inflicted. You've been a man about it. You stepped up. You speak about it. You took your punishment, and you self-admitted are a better man because of that.
Sure.
But kind of talk about the adversity of that USC loss, hearing your coach, your leader, you don't like to hear that, pisses you off. Yeah. But talk about how you guys didn't just quit, enter the transfer portal, and just go somewhere else. You're like, all right, I want to prove this dude wrong.
Yeah. Like you said, adversity was the main thing that pushed us all, and that was one thing about our team last year. No matter what kind of happened, what kind of problem we faced, we all came together. You know, those are the best team I've ever been a part of as of a championship-wise, as far as just brothers. We all loved each other so much, and, you know, that's why I've been trying to create that with this team here. But, you know, after that loss, and we all heard him say all that, instead of, you know, all of us scattering around and going to different schools and Oach having an opportunity to go to the NBA, me having an opportunity, you know, we all just wanted to come back and just prove the nation how good we could be. And I felt like we had the most versatile and best team, but due to COVID, you know, it was a very tough loss. And can't put any excuses on what it was. USC played great that game, but you know, we all just came back motivated. You could tell by the summer, by the boot camp, that we were trying to prove them wrong. You know, we all heard those things. We saw who he recruited, and you know, it was just kind of like not like a slap on our back, but just it was a challenge, and we all accepted it. And we all talked about it too with him, as far as him doing it, and you know, him pushing us, and you know, it kind of ended up being the best thing that happened for us. And you know, even going back to last year with me getting suspended, like all the adversity that came with that kind of just changed who I was, and my approach towards life, basketball, understanding how quick things can be taken from you. A lot of the times, people go through a drinking and driving situation. They may lose their life or lose their ability to do things that they've done every single day and take advantage of. So I kind of just took pride on what I wanted to do for the rest of the year, and I was to become a better man and a better player. And I feel proud. I feel like I was able to accomplish both of those things, and really, you know, put my mark on the championship run.
And how much in that kind of same conversation, you lose 75% of your scoring.
Yeah.
Nobody picks us. Baylor was picked to win the league. How much did that sit in your craw, and how much did that motivate you to kind of be where you're at this year?
No, that definitely fired me up, you know, because I saw I was coming back, Juan's coming back, added Kev, added Grady, everybody else. It's like, why do y'all think we can't win? So it kind of just, you know, you do not think that what we have is enough, and, you know, just put a target on our back already as far as being Kansas, but now we have a target to go for, and it's to win the conference. And, you know, it's a special way to win it because it was one of the best that we've ever seen as far as having a conference, and you know, to win it outright is even better. So,
yeah, I want to highlight your work ethic because we get the luxury of seeing how hard you work every day before you go out in front of packed field houses and score 20 a game. The reason why you scored 20-plus points a game this year, led the Big 12 conference in scoring, isn't because Oates and CB left and you get more shots, but it's because of the work that you put in. Yeah. And give us an idea of our listeners of what that looks like, because the reality is showing up to practice is the bare minimum, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody does that. Every college basketball player in the country can show up from 2:30 to 5:30 basically and do what the coach tells you. But time and time again throughout the entirety of the season, I've seen you in there 9 a.m. early with Brady, with Dooley, with managers, shooting by yourself, getting up the extra shots, putting in the extra work, and now you're reaping the benefits of that. So tell us, where did that mindset come from in putting in the extra work, and how has that helped you this year?
I'd say kind of just from this summer, me and Oach went to Portland, went to the Damian Lillard's camp, and we got to watch him work. And he just explained how hard it was, you know, to not only be in the NBA but to stay in the NBA. And you know, it really just motivated me to, you know, I didn't feel like I was working hard enough last year. And you know, coming back to school, I wanted to be, you know, the leader. I wanted to achieve certain things that I had for myself and for the team. And I knew none of that was going to come if I didn't separate myself from everybody else, not only on my team but just in the country. And you know, if it's coming to the gym an hour and a half earlier and shooting with the managers, getting with Brady, getting with Dooley, anything I can do to just get a little bit better every single day, because you you know, anybody can just go in and make 500 shots in one day and be done for the week. But if you just do something to get better every single day, I feel like it adds up over time. And it's not only in the gym; it starts in the training room as well. Making sure my body is feeling good. I think this is the most I've ever been in the training room, just as far as icing and doing different rehab stuff.
And how many practices did you miss this year?
I don't think I've missed, but like maybe one. I don't even know. I'm just assuming I've missed one.
And I can't tell you how impressive that is. You know, in the era of load management, in the era of, you know, top player
playing the amount of minutes he plays.
Playing 38 minutes a game, and the time we got to play Saturday, Monday, turnarounds, also with travel. I mean, the best ability is availability, and you've been that.
And not to mention, you get banged around a lot. You go to the free throw line a lot because you create a lot of contact, so you go down a lot. And it is a testament to your work ethic. And I'm glad you brought up the Damian Lillard guy with Ochai, because Ochai thought he worked hard.
Yeah.
I mean, he went up there and goes, all right, I do this. And that guy basically said to him, there was a great article by C.J. Moore in The Athletic about that whole experience going up there. He's like, I thought I worked hard. This guy's like, no, you got to do this. You don't work hard. And it wasn't a knock on Ochai, because you don't necessarily know until you see.
You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know until you see a Damian Lillard or a Steph Curry. Like you said, we all can go in and shoot 500 jump shot. That's easy.
Yeah.
Can you do the other things with Dooley and B-Star and those guys? That's exactly what you did and why you're at where you are right now.
Yeah. Shout out to Phil, too, Dame's trainer. He was just showing us videos of them in college and the things that they did. And, you know, he may work on one move 100 times, do another move 100 times, do this move. Like, just repetition. And the separation that Dame has from a lot of guys is, we've watched him work out personally, his speed in the workouts. You know, he's not slouching around, jogging through the shots, slow motion when he's shooting. Everything's full speed. And you could tell Dame's game is just elevated every single year because of the preparation he puts in during the practice. And I kind of want to just relate to that and understand that, you know, if I want to be great and I want to do this, and that, it's gonna take a lot of hard work. And he was able to open my eyes wide open to what really hard work is, and to be at that level of the NBA, or even just be great in college like he was, it's going to take a lot of work.
Man, I think that's so important just for the average fan or the young player to grow up, because when you hear that your favorite college player, particularly Jayhawks, want to test the NBA waters, people kind of get stirred up into a frenzy. Oh, they're not ready. Oh, why are they going? Oh, why are they doing this and doing that? Oh, they just want the attention. But there's actually tangible things that you can learn through going through the process and then being exposed to opportunities like that. And so you tested the NBA waters twice. What were some other things that you learned in that experience that helped you to have the type of year you had?
Yeah, if I didn't test the waters this year, I went to a Spurs workout, and a couple of the coaches was talking to him and noticed something about my shooting, that my head was going back a lot of my shots. And he was like, just every time you shoot the ball, just imagine your chin just staying straight up. And I had never thought about that while shooting. And I had mentioned that to one of my teammates, and also to my best friend. And he was like, you know, he worked with Mike Miller, another great shooter, and he had mentioned the same thing. And I was like, let me try that. And ever since then, I just felt my shot take off from a whole nother level as far as just my confidence shooting. And that's something I would never pick up if I wanted to try it and test the waters. And people don't really grasp testing. You know, I still have the option to come back to school. It's not that I'm saying I'm done with school, you know, those past 2 years. It was me saying I'm trying to go out and learn, see if I can get better, see if I have the opportunity to grow and potentially get a spot in the NBA. And, you know, I'm so fortunate of, especially last year, being able to learn a lot that I did and carry it over to now. So.
And it might be a stretch to say, but it's almost to a degree irresponsible to not test. Yeah. Like it's the rule. You're not doing anything wrong. No. You can go out and train with whoever and learn things. So, in my opinion, I don't know why you wouldn't. If they give you an amount of times to do it, take advantage of it, because college and NBA are very, very different. And learning the NBA game and how they really work. Because what was your aha moment when you came out of high school? You were a superstar and highly recruited and all that. But what was it? Because we're going to say the same thing, college to pro. What was it like the first day at Kansas? Was it the second week? When was it where you're like, all right, I thought I played hard in high school. Now I got to do this?
I said the biggest thing that I noticed was just the athleticism and strength that every guy had and the speed. I'm coming in, I'm going against Doak, which is, already a beast. He won Player of the Year, and I'm not having. I've seen a center in high school. He's maybe 6'5", 6'6", and this dude's 6'11", jumping out the gym. And you never really understand how fast and how good you have to be just to even set the tone of get on the court, let alone being a star in the game. And I was able to learn that going through the NBA testing these past 2 years, as far as how good guys are. And people don't realize, they hate on the fact that there's only or it's like, oh, he's a second-round pick. But 60 picks is not a lot of people when you think about millions of people trying to get into the NBA. And they don't even understand that it's not only the United States. It's every single person in the world is trying to get into the NBA. And I feel like it's a discredit to yourself if you don't try to pursue testing the water just to learn as much as you can. I learned so much every single NBA workout that I've been through, every single workout this summer with different trainers, and I was able to wrap all that up and put it all into this year. So, I feel like testing the waters is a great thing to do just to not only see where you're at as far as NBA-wise, but to get better.
Well, before we get to our call of the week, there's still a chance that you could come back. Would you like to tell? I know you spoke on senior night, which I'll give you a ton of credit. You were great. You approached the time limit where you get pulled. Wayne probably was what? 27 minutes?
So people still give me a hard time for that. Yeah.
You were in the
teens.
CB, I saw CB throwing shade, but the reality is we earned that time.
Yeah,
right?
Man. Hey, man, don't worry about it.
Do your thing. Yeah, that's right. We earned that.
Nah, my thing is, like last year there was like 4 or 5 seniors, so I can get this time limit, but Kev's only been here a year, so he didn't have too much to say. I've been here 4 years, man. I've been through a lot. I'm going to say everything I want to say.
And the funny thing is, the guy who tries to set the time limits talks more than anybody else in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Bill Self.
So
give us 5 minutes. We're like,
nah, Coach.
You talk about a rambler.
I got plenty to say, and that's the last time I'm talking to my fans. Why not be able to take my time
So
on
it's a 0% chance you're coming back.
It is 0, especially after 2 national championships. There's just no more.
There it is.
It's the next generation.
So every week we do a call of the week, and since we're trying to forget about Austin, so there was a couple of calls that I'm sure were good. I think the call of the week should be, I'd like to introduce Jalen Wilson, the Big 12 Player of the Year, Sporting News First Team All-American, with more All-American honors to come, and immortalized in the most iconic building in college basketball, Allen Fieldhouse. Your number is going to go up on the Southsiders, as I just learned that term.
Yeah, that's the inside term for that.
I'm not a North Sider, an East Sider, or a West Sider.
Southsiders.
I'm just a guy, but you got 2 Southsiders here, and I think that's our call of the week.
Yeah, call of the week brought to you by the Kansas City BBQ store. Make sure you grab all your barbecue supplies and accessories online at kcbarbecuestore.com. Visit their store, go see Dan, and also tap into the Gosney Patio Pizza Dome. It's going to be great. Sold exclusively there. You like pizza, don't you?
Love it.
Excellent. Call of the week brought to you by the KC Barbecue Store. But there's something I want to talk about. Racking up, obviously, some incredible accolades. There's going to be another Big 12 Player of the Year that comes from Kansas. There's going to be another first-team All-American that comes from Kansas. But something that Coach titled you with earlier last week as being the most competitive player that he's ever coached. That is as distinguishing of a title as there'll be in Kansas basketball. How does that make you feel, and how is that even better than being just another Big 12 Player of the Year or just another first-team All-American in Kansas basketball?
Well, Coach has been there, through all the adversity in college, and one thing when I got to school that I wanted to take pride on was just like, how can I, make this place just like better, but how can I make my mark on this school, make my mark somehow? And through all my adversity in life, I've always just wanted to win the situation and win whatever I'm in. And, that just comes with being competitive, and that's just how I was raised. Nothing was given to me. And I think every single year we've seen that there's been so much just thrown at us. Just being Kansas, we got a target on our back, and I'm just a guy that embraces all of that. And I want the sticky situations where you may count us out, like the national championship game or Baylor coming in.
You like those situations?
I love it,
right?
man. I love it because it just makes the story so much better. And no one can think someone can get arrested in the same year that they are tied for leading scorer in the national championship game. And I take pride on things like that because there's going to be another kid that goes through a situation to where he may get in trouble. He may, think he's failing, but, 2 or 3 months later it can be the greatest moment of his life, and he may never know. But, I think I can be a great example for people just to keep your head down and just keep working no matter what's going on. You get suspended these games or you're not playing as much as you want. There's always going to be an opportunity for you, and you just got to be ready. And, I've just taken pride in moments like that because I feel like it just makes me a better man, every single time. So.
When Bill called you the most competitive guy he's ever coached, was that surprising? And how many times throughout your 4 years did he call you the softest player in America? I mean, what was more? You're the most competitive, or you're the softest?
I mean, we hear softest every single day, or like this.
Do your best talking to Jalen Wilson. You're soft.
Oh, he'll come up to me. I may have 10 rebounds, and I don't get 1 rebound, and I'm getting my butt whooped on the glass, and this dude's killing me. But what I've learned is that, he knows that that's going to piss me off, and now I'm going to go out there and do something. But, to hear that, it was great because, I just wanted to win every single game and at all costs. No matter if I have 1, 2 points, I'm going to find a way to get, there was a game last year in the conference where I had 2 points but 15 rebounds and 2 blocks and 2 steals. I'm going to find some way for us to win. And, there's been a couple games this year already that we've won some games, and I haven't had my best, scoring performance that people think. But, I'm going to do all the little things for us to win because that's what's most important.
Well, I'd first like to thank John Beilein for leaving Michigan. I don't know John Beilein, but you think about
the Cavs. Thank Dan Gilbert and the Cavs for paying him all that money.
Think about your path. You were going to Michigan.
Yeah.
He leaves. You decide to come to Kansas. And in your 4 years, everybody forgets this dude right here is a sophomore eligibility-wise.
Yeah.
He has 2 more years left, but he has made the right decision. This is the time.
Yeah.
There is no need to come back. You need to go and grow. But you talked about it in your senior speech. Talk about Bill Self, what he's meant to you, what he brings to the table. Act like this is a recruiting tape for the next Jalen Wilson. What does Bill Self mean to you?
Well, if I could just tell any kid that, maybe he's having I have tough parents. Parenting has always been something that I've gone through, making me work for everything. Nothing's been hand given, and that's one thing I always appreciate about Coach is that he coaches you the hardest that you will probably ever receive, just because he knows how great that you can be. And maybe when I was a freshman, I wouldn't understand how hard he was coaching me and why, but now that I'm 4 years later and looking back when I was 18, 19, I see why you have to go hard every single day, because over the next 2-3 years, you're going to evolve and blossom into who you're supposed to be. And, that's something I take pride on, just having a guy in my corner that pushes me to be better every single day. And no matter what accolade, I even saw it last year with Ocha, no matter what accolades guys are getting, it's not even going to be good enough in his eyes. And that's what you want. You don't ever want somebody to be content with where you are. He pushes you to somewhere where you think you may never be able to go, and that's why I became the player I am today. And any guy that's going through high school and not really understanding what school he may want to go to, this is a guy that's going to get you better, regardless, maybe if you want to or not. And there's going to be some times where you may not get along, and we've all had our arguments, but at the end of the day, they will all be out of love and understanding that the bigger picture is winning and making you better. So
you mentioned 2 things about your game and your background that I absolutely love. The first is, and very true, we saw it several times throughout the season and even last, that it doesn't matter if you're scoring points, you're going to find a way to impact the game, whether it's rebounding, whether it's guarding the other team's best player. And I actually love that even when you had those tough shoot nights, at game point, you still want the ball and you're still confident and you're still gonna find a way to make it work. To that point, you mentioned your parents. love your dad.
Yeah.
And we've been on the road a couple times and sitting in the parent section, and I love how even though you might be having a good game, you might have 15 in the first half, your dad is on your neck about get a rebound, get in the stands. So how have those two paired up together? How did your dad's expectation and your relationship with him help you become a tough, hard-nosed player that doesn't need to see the basketball go in order for you to impact the game?
My dad's just been a guy that's going to get the best out of me. And I think his whole philosophy on just my approach towards the game, especially this year, was, one of the first things he said coming back to school is like you going to average at least 18-8. Like, you have no choice. And I'm like, man, that's kind of tough. Look at Ochai. Like, he just got there. I'm like, man, that's going to be tough. So it's like, but his always thing is, why not? Like, why can't you do it? Why can't you be the one that carries? Why can't you be the one that does this? Why can't you win a national championship? You know, he was saying that all last year. Why can't y'all? And now I started thinking to myself, like, man, why can't I? And that's just been his belief. You know, he's always instilled the belief in myself and the confidence. And now I take pride in it today, as far as not setting any limitations on myself. Coming into the year, I wanted to win all these awards, and once you do win them, like, man, I really did that. But it's like, I wouldn't have done it unless I had that approach and that mindset of, I can go get it. Like, why can't I be the one to go do it? And, looking at all y'all names up there, I'm like, man, why can't my name be up there? And, I just wanted to work hard to do it. So, without him being able to push me like that, especially from a young age, I definitely wouldn't be who I am. As far as just how tough and competitive I am, I get a lot of it from him. So,
well, in addition to your dad, talk about your mom. Mom's been there every step of the way, and she's been great. I've gotten to know her as well as your dad, and she is your biggest fan. No,
my mom's been my number one fan forever. And, I call us twins because people say we all look alike. But, no matter what, if it's a good or bad game, she's going to have something for me to hear, something for me to say and learn from. And I thought that's great and a blessing to have two parents that know sports. Some parents, you may have a bad game, you run to mom and dad, and they cope, and they tell you, but you did this good, or you did this good. But that's not the situation for my parents. My parents, no matter what's going on, are going to tell me things I could have done to get better, because they know, you can't be content with just winning or just doing this. You gotta find a way to improve your game and get better. And that's one thing about my mom. She's been the toughest woman in my life, but the most loving. And that's what I really appreciate about her, as far as her, being everything that I want.
Here we are the day before the Thursday game. We're going to play the winner of West Virginia and Texas Tech. But I want to go back and talk about Kevin McCullough, one of your guys. I mean, he's on the road, in Lawrence, whatever. You guys are attached at the hip. That's your guy. Yeah. But in addition to Kevin, you've had a long career with DeJuan. DeJuan's a guy that doesn't get talked much about. But I was shocked that he wasn't a third-team All Big 12. Yeah, I don't know how
let alone a Bob Cousy Award.
Yeah, that's even crazy.
Finalist.
Like,
he wasn't even on the list. Yeah. Like, for real.
He wasn't on the early list, and they put him on. It just baffles me. A national championship game-winning guy, starting point guard, had the year that he's had. Yeah, name me 3-point guards that are better than him in our league.
I can't even name. If I had to take a point guard in the nation, I'm always taking one because everything he gives you on the offensive end, as far as the playmaking and the vision, he gives you triple on the defensive end. And it's like, first of all,
his float game, draw and dish, he does it all.
I don't even know. Maybe you have to go look back to the last Defensive Player of the Year in the Big 12 that wasn't on one of the teams. Has that even happened? I don't even know if that's happened. But
I don't get it.
That just shows,
shows the depth of the league, and that's we don't want to take anything away from the guys.
No, it's not taking away.
But you look at Marquise Noel, you look at Marcus Carr. I get it.
Which are all great guys, but
we got a national champion point guard.
And I feel like, but I feel like that fuels Juan. He sees all that, doesn't even mention it, never complains, and just keeps his head down and works, and he wins. And
are you a little bit more, to a degree, happy that he's not on it because it might piss him off a little bit more?
Yeah, I like
chippy.
It's like Juan's like, all right, I get an award or I don't get an award. I just want to go win. He said it best after the Missouri game. Remember when they said that crowd rattled? He goes, man, 6 months ago, I won a national championship in front of 70,000 people.
It's nothing. And that's why I love about Juan, because I've never seen him rattled, and he doesn't really care about awards. He just wants to win and have fun. Like, he's a guy that just loves to hoop. And, you know, you appreciate that being your point guard, the leader, floor general, all that you can say. And, you know, he's not even fazed by not being on one of them teams. You know, he likes to guard, obviously, because he won Player of the Year for defense, and that was for a special reason. And
another guy who doesn't get talked about a whole lot, the Texan, along with you.
Yeah.
KJ Adams played sparingly last year, offensively challenged, I guess you would call him last year.
Somewhat, yeah.
But the rise that KJ's had this year, did you see that coming? I didn't. I thought he was going to be a big part of this year's team, but he's off the charts.
No, KJ is taking his game far beyond, you know, what I saw just coming in from last year. You know, a guy that hasn't played but maybe 10 minutes collectively in the whole year last year as far as Big 12 play is now the starting center on potentially number 1 team overall seed, Big 12 champs, and he is a big piece of that. And, you know, we've never seen, or I haven't seen a center like KJ in Kansas' history. But
because he's 6'7".
Yeah, and he's able to find his niche and find a way to improve. And there's not a tougher guy on the court. A guy that thinks he's tougher than him, he'll show you why he's tougher. And, you know, he's everything that we needed in a player this year because he brings so much to our team. All the 50-50 balls, the rebounding, the block shots, the dunks, just shows his confidence. And it shows his want to win as well. You know, he knows that's what we need for us to win.
No, it's true. It's so funny as you've watched KJ mature and grow, especially in his celebration antics, because he's got big energy, right?
Yeah.
Big energy.
Crunk.
Yeah.
But how cool is it to see him get just as excited off of a 50-50 ball, diving on the ball, you know, getting a rebound, got a big stop as he does catching an alley-oop dunk or getting an and one. Like, how important is that for, like, team chemistry? And then also how important is that in fueling, you know, other things, you know, to happen in those same categories?
Yeah, I think one special thing, especially about his celebrations, is he's even more excited seeing another guy get a 50-50 ball, another guy getting an and one.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's already enough excitement when you get a good play. You know, you feel good, but you look to your left and your right, and you see your teammates even more excited for you. That fuels you a lot.
Ernest is like that.
Yeah,
Ernest has an incredible attitude.
See him on
like
the side
that.
or see him on the court, he's dancing. Like, that energy is so contagious. And people may not realize and may think it's a little thing, but that really goes a long way. It may be a guy having a tough night. He gets a bucket, see his teammates celebrate that. You don't know what that can do to him. That can fuel him to go, you know, 4, 6, 8 points in a row. And that's especially what you need in a guy like KJ. And that's one of the unique qualities that he has on our team, just bringing that every single night.
March mentality. All right, talk to us about that, because we could get snuck up on and it could be 2 quick losses and everything is over.
Yeah.
Or we could lock in, win 9 in a row like we did last year, and have confetti fall on us twice and be up on ladders cutting down nets.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the March mentality and what's going to be needed coming up for this next stretch.
Yeah, I mean, it's win or go home now. We talked about it the other day. It's literally, if y'all want to play around and we're not focused, it's 2 games and bye-bye. The whole season's done like that. You know, there's guys' season that are going to end tonight. You know, people are playing tonight all across America.
Crazy.
And this is their last game, and it just puts it in perspective of what March really is. Number 1 team, you could be undefeated, 30 whatever and 0. You get into March, it's who's better that day. And it's all about winning that day and winning the day of preparation. You know, today we had a great day of practice, great energy, and that's what you need, you know, when it's win or go home. Every team's coming to win. Tomorrow we're going to play a team that's looking to get into the tournament, and we're looking to win. So it's going to be two teams both playing for something, and that's the beauty about March. Every single team thinks they have a chance, no matter if you're a 16 seed, like we'll play, and or a team like tomorrow. It's only 1 game. You know, if we can just win this 1 game, we can get to the next game, and that's the mentality you have to have. Is just winning that matchup in front of you, and you know. It's the highest of stakes, but that's what we come to Kansas for. It's just to play in moments like these and get confetti, man.
You think you're the overall number 1 seed?
I think so, without a doubt. I think if you win the Big 12 this year, why wouldn't you be? We have the most quad wins in America.
By a long shot.
Yeah, by a long shot. We've had the number 1 strength of schedule in America. So if you combine most quad wins and the hardest schedule, I don't see how that doesn't propel you over a lot of teams. And it's no knock to like Houston or Bama, but it's just not the Big 12. And, you know, I think you'll see a lot of Big 12 teams having success in the tournament due to what we've played every night.
Well, it's going to show. There's going to be a Big 12 team that gets into the tournament that was 4 or 5 games under 500 in the league. That never used to have. It used to be 500 or just below 500. There's going to be a 6-12 team in the league.
I mean, there's teams like Oklahoma that beat Alabama by 20.
30.
Like those teams are capable because they play in the Big 12.
Yeah.
And you see the talent and the grit that every single team has. That it's not sweet like it is in some other conferences. It's literally a grind.
Well, the accolades are going to keep coming.
Yep.
You're going to continue to win awards. Wayne and I and the whole Jayhawk Nation so proud of everything that you've accomplished, the man that you've become. You're going to be in the rafters, like with Wilt Chamberlain and Wayne Simeon.
That's crazy.
Think of those two.
No, it's a huge blessing. You know, I've been fortunate and blessed to be able to get a lot of the accolades that I wanted this year, and also for my team to be number 1 overall seed. I mean, it's just everything's lining up, and you know, I just think it comes from those days of hard work when no one's in the gym, or just you and the trainer, you and the managers putting in work, and this starts in June, July, like it starts there, and like I said, it just keeps adding up every single day, and you know, this has been the best time of my life. You know, even when the national championship last year was great, but having the potential and going through the process to do it again is even special. So, and
Wayne can speak to it because he played in the NBA. There's never going to be a better time that you've had. NBA is great.
Yeah,
you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to have some great experiences, but you're never going to be loved like you were in Lawrence, Kansas.
No, that
would you agree, Dub?
Facts, yeah, it's true.
That Fieldhouse love, I can already tell, because I got friends in the NBA, and they all tell me, you know, that Fieldhouse is something special, man. There's nothing like that. All these people just come to our games just to say they're at the NBA game or just to be seen on TV. Yeah. But when people come to our games, they could care less who's what, if it's ESPN, ABC, they don't care what it is. They're just there to support us and love us. And, you know, I never took for granted any game this year because I knew that, you know, it's going to fly by. And, you know, I can say that I've had so much fun this year. So.
Thanks so much for coming on, man. We appreciate how well you've represented this year, the work that you put in, all the things you're going to accomplish going on here through the month of March. We're going to be cheering for you, pulling for you long after this incredible month you guys are about to put forward.
Let's go win.
Thanks for sitting with us, man.
Go win 9 straight.
Man. Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
This has been the Jayhawker Podcast brought to you by the University of Kansas Health System. This is your Big 12 Player of the Year, Jalen Wilson. Wayne Simeon. I am Greg Gurley. Rock Chalk.